Hi, today we're lucky enough to have Amy Smith from Advantage Styling. She's come to share some styling tips and techniques that will help present your house beautifully before sale.
I started with Advantage Property Styling about 8 years ago, 6 months after they initially launched. I'd studied interior design at the White House Institute of Design, and post that went and worked with an interior designer in Mossman. So I've been very lucky in that time to see all sorts of different properties and work with a lot of different vendors on their homes and presenting them for sale. It could be as small as just adding a rug or a mirror to a dark room, or completely refurnishing a new home. So we don't have a minimum quantity on what we need to do. But really we just focus on getting the property looking its very best for the sales campaign.
Amy, what are the most common mistakes people make when styling their home?
The thing I most commonly say to people is to declutter, so really to minimise what's in the property, so you're letting the rooms feel as big as they possibly can, and also just to open up the flow with the room, so not having big bulky pieces of furniture in the middle of the room, and using some lighter colour pieces throughout. We do find that buyers tend to open up cupboards and wardrobes when they're looking through a property, and I always say to my vendors that if a buyer opens up your cupboard and it's bulging at the seams, it does make it feel like there's not enough storage throughout the property. So you really want it to all be as neat and tidy as possible. If you've got open shelves in the house and they're a little bit messy, it might be worth buying some nice boxes that you can store everything in.
What are your top tips for presenting a home?
First of all, properties don't present very well when they're empty in photography, and we find a lot of people are doing their shopping online before actually going to an open house. So it's really important that you impress them at that initial stage online and get them to come to the open house. And then once they're at the property, the wow factor is so important. You want them to walk in and fall in love. The front entry is always important for first impressions, so making sure that it's all clean and tidy, that leaves have been dusted away, and the entry has a really good presence. But the lounge and the dining are probably the key areas for styling. They're most commonly used for the photographs and also just to give that wow factor.
The most common questions vendors ask us are in regards to art, pictures and how personal a property should be. What are your thoughts?
We try to avoid personal photos because you don't want buyers coming in and getting distracted on who lives at the property at the moment. You want them coming in and imagining themselves there. But generally sort of one large piece of art or a pair of art above a sofa, or a mirror if it's reflecting a view or a bit of light back into the property, can work really well. So we customise all of our packages. We always look at the property with either the agent or the vendor and assess what the home requires and the style of the property, and we try and work out who the likely demographic is as well, so we can tailor the styling to suit their tastes.
I thought we could discuss 157 Queenscliff Road. It was vacant, didn't have a homely feel, and a great example of how a property can really benefit from great styling.
Yeah, it was an interesting property. We had a big rock face coming through one of the rooms, and there was a lot of hard surfaces in there, so we really needed to soften the overall feel to stop the sound bouncing around, and also just to warm it up for buyers as they came through. So using upholstered furniture, some artwork, rugs and lighting, we helped to warm it up. A study we set up as a second bedroom so that you could show that you could fit a bed in there. A lot of people would have just imagined that really to be worked well. Yeah, a study if we hadn't put the bed in there, and that's something we often do, is to encourage people to put double beds into rooms when they fit, just to prove the point that it will actually fit a bed.
We recently worked on 2 at 7 Rickard Street in Balgala together. It was originally tenanted and then vacant. Just wanted to ask what methods and advice you gave the client to assist with the sale.
I saw the property just after the tenant had left, and it was feeling a little bit tired. Carpet and paint really helped to freshen it up and give it a bit of a new lease of life. We wanted to try and define the spaces as much as possible there. The lounge and dining room were combined, and it was quite a small space. So by using light coloured furniture, a small round glass dining table, we were able to show both a living and a dining space. And then the bedrooms we obviously furnished with beds and bedside tables. So I think for photography that property wouldn't have come up as well without the furniture in there. I think buyers would have sort of seen it as being quite a small living space. But by putting the furniture in it, it showed what you could fit and showed that it was really a good size area.
I'd just like to say thank you to Amy Smith from Advantage Styling for sharing some great tips with us in regards to styling property. Feel free to contact us at any time if you'd like some further information.